If you like this sort of content, I ask that you please subscribe. Thank you. Let's be real. As much as you enjoy your new friends, they all seem a little lonely, don't they? Like, maybe they don't have any friends besides the ones they talk to online? Is online friendship a reasonable alternative to a more traditional face-to-face friendship? Are relationships, and dare to say families that you choose, not just as important, if not more so than those you were able to touch and feel? Damn. Maybe being a little too real. You decide not to think about it too hard. But if you're being honest with yourself, maybe if you aren't terribly interested in the greater context of found family and interpersonal relationships in the instant message era, you've got a fever, and the only cure for this disease called friendship is to mildly inconvenience a few teenagers. As much of a delight as it's been to make a young boy face his existential future, rob a woman of her booze stash, and then self-reflect about the value of contextual relationships, it's all felt a little heavy-handed. What you need is an emotional palate cleanser. There are 2 kids left on this tour de force, and both sound like they'd make exquisite friends. Time to go full-on easy mode here. You've heard so much about this guy, you feel like you got this one in the goddamned bag. With confidence, you zap yourself onwards. What am I looking at? Oh, you're already here. Wherever here is, it is blisteringly hot. You nigh instantaneously regret your choice of apparel. Why did you instinctively put your hoodie back on over this robe? Gown? You the mailman or mail person? This must be Dave. Ha. Rose mentioned he talked a lot, and as you start to explain, it becomes apparent he is having this conversation at you, not with you. Wow, it is unbelievably humid. Person adjacent. Anyway, Egbert told me you'd show up eventually. Which I never doubted for a second, since one of the core tenets of the United States Postal Service is that you visit 4 extremely specific and spread out teenagers while sweating all over yourself. Practically a crime to not be increasingly moist while out here delivering letters on the roof of a skyrise. Which, as you know, is the most effective and legal way to drop off the post. Clammier than a New England potluck and wandering around on the roof with no package. It is actually really cool how much this kid seems to talk at you, but you are barely listening. Has the sun already been that, has always been that red? Has the skies always been that wavy? Are you alright? You are hardly alright. You tug at the collar of your soggy mess of a hoodie. This is an overwhelming, oppressive heat. An almost impenetrable air fills your lungs as you try and take a series of shallower and shallower breaths. The world fades to white. When you wake up, you're sitting propped up on a cheap futon in front of a large television. A rough approximation of a person does an elaborate series of controlled falls, culminating in what you can only describe as skateboarding for assholes. On your left, Dave exists in a quantum state that is both somehow sitting and laying down, but also neither. And with the precision of a Swiss watchmaker, he deftly presses a series of buttons that makes the awful Polygon Man on screen T-pose and fall face forward into the ground. Seconds later, his skateboard flops helplessly next to him. He doesn't look away from the screen as he speaks. So, I guess you lived. It's not that I'm invested, but John might be sad. Classic John. You try and emulate his incredibly casual body language as you slide your body down the futon. Your legs already barely reach the ground. Yeah, that guy's a dork, but I taught him everything he knows. Man, you ask him if you taught him how to be a dork. You affect a completely uninterested face as though the sickness of your 3rd-degree burn is not the single most exciting moment of your life. God damn. Owning my own home. Owned within an inch of my life. I'm on the edge of reaching out that hand of friendship in this chucklehead long live the king's me. Thousands of gazelles trample my useless body as Jonathan Taylor Thomas's persona watches on. Who will raise Simba now? Who's going to teach him about combat? Philosophy. Life. By the way, I put your nasty sweatshirt in the shower. Dope. Dope, dope, dope. You are definitely the sort of person who says dope often and casually. You tell him, dopely, that you are a person who is not caught up in the small details of decorum or personal propriety. In fact, it doesn't bother you at all that he took your only worldly possessions and tossed them in a shower while you were unconscious. What's some light corpse looting among bros, right? Okay. While it dries, you can wear one of my bro's shirts. He usually has a fresh stash hidden in here. Dope, tight, sick. Nothing weird about hiding some shirts in the living room. Just gonna have a look-see. Holy crap, there's a lot of puppets in here. Yeah, dudes, puppets own. Enough said. My bro's got the market cornered on puppet-based endeavors. Backed up against the wall like a feral beast hissing for more plush-oriented content. Little guy is probably just scared, just wants to protect its nest and mouth-to-mouth feed its babies. Only the choicest puppet smut for a reasonable fee. What the fuck does any of that mean? You look back to Dave and he's on his phone. God damn, that is so cool, actually. There's something weird about this whole setup that you just can't put your finger on. For one, you can't seem to find any secret shirts anywhere. It's all just puppets and plushes and DJ equipment. Oh my. Yeah, with my bro you have to think of the potential for ironic payoff. That guy is always one step ahead. Just when you think you've got it figured out, it was all just some trap to make you think you've gotten his goat. But that goat is long gone. Makes you think maybe there never was a goat. Maybe it was some other barnyard animal all along. You've been duped into looking for a goat like some dumb asshole. Or maybe the goat gets you really subvert the whole thing. You take a second to wonder if he is really using the term ironic correctly in this instance. By dictionary definition, yes, a goat getting you is the opposite of how the situation should go. Thank God you settled that. As you were about to reassure Dave that his joke tracks and you catch some movement in the corner of your eye. Was that a camera? That couldn't have possibly been a camera. Oh. Nope, there it is again. There is a camera coming out of the ice dispenser. It whirs softly as you approach. Its mechanical eye trained on you. How long has this thing been watching? Is this Dave's? You lean in to take a closer look, but your foot catches on something. You fall flat on your face. Dave seems too engrossed in the conversation he's having on his phone to pay you much mind, occasionally mumbling something out loud a few times before presumably typing it out. You search for whatever it was that made you beef it so royally. You know, beef it, like fall down. That is a real phrase that humans say. A small tripwire stands taut a few inches off the ground. You must not have disturbed it enough to set off whatever contraption it's attached to, apparently. Oh yeah, sometimes they're more of a psych out. You think, oh, fuck me, I definitely beefed it, which is a phrase that is real. And you sit there waiting on bated breath, prepared to be fucked deep in velvety marionette dick, you know what I mean? And it never comes. You go the rest of your day just waiting for the payoff from your dipshit mistake. And it never comes. You wake up in cold sweats for weeks, yearning for a release that will never find you, and it hits you. You've been fucked bamboozled by the master yet again. There's no elaborate booby trap. There's no Rube Goldberg device set to enact a series of complicated shenanigans, ultimately resulting in being buried alive in Kermit the Frog's plush and Fabius dong. Beautiful, really. Damn, bro, you live like this? I mean, yeah, I guess. Keeps me on my toes. Heels never even met the ground. A prima ballerina with a head full of dreams and nothing to lose. God's gift applies, ripping a straight tasty tour and lair for my adoring fans. They go apeshit for this sort of thing, but it's just another day in the life for dancer extraordinaire Dave Strider. Haven't fallen asleep for his trap like that since I was a baby. Trained. Real rookie mistake, man. Looking tired, maybe. Drained. Oh my god. Is he mumble rapping at you? This is the greatest day of your life. Got more plush ass than a puppet lost and found. King Strider drops the illest fires, cause Heavy used the crown. Rhyming puppet with puppet, call that puppet rhymes. Killing all ventriloquist, puppet on puppet crimes. Man, he goes on like this for some time with what could be described as bars of a similar caliber. The narrative focus shifts to your inner thoughts out of necessity because it turns out writing raps is really hard. He isn't exactly great, but you're not really a rap expert despite what your social media opinions might imply. Unless you count Hatch to Dance, which of course you do. Why wouldn't you? Wait, what? What does that mean? Why do you think that? The whole scenario feels a little weird and familiar to you. All of these kids feel familiar to you. You learn something new about Dave and you feel like you already sort of know it. You can't place it. Despite having met Dave no less than half an hour ago, something feels just slightly off about him. Something about his actions feels so performative in nature, like it's pantomiming in front of an audience. As Dave continues to rap, you remember that you are in front of an audience. You cast a glance over the camera, but also to the hundreds of stuffed little creatures staring at you with their lifeless eyes. Amidst the revelation, we check back in on Dave, because I'm getting paid to write this, so I should probably make the fucking jokes already. Master of my cool, I'm the ace. Hardware, got more hoes than a gardener, yard care. Nice. The chaotic and surreal energy of the scene sends a shock of nervous energy down your spine. You feel alarmingly nude without the comfort and familiar warmth of your sweater. There is something about it that grounded you, something that felt like home. Dave concludes his masterpiece with an elaborate series of yeahs and uhs just as you see the camera turn away from him ever so slightly to focus on something else before retreating back into the ice dispenser. It almost makes it look a little bashful. It's kind of adorable, actually. Despite the fanfic you've written in your head about a cool kid and his new best robot friend, the reality of the situation sets in. You have yet to make friends with this character, and it all has kind of felt surreal and weird to you. Maybe it's time to zap back and hard reset this continuity to try again. What does that mean? Feels like I'm missing an important part of the puzzle here, man. Oh, did he hear that? How does this work exactly? Sometimes you just narrate what you're thinking. Kind of a baller move. Why has nobody called you out on this before? You put your hand on the counter to stabilize yourself and your fingers brush up against something clandestinely polo. Just barely poking out from beneath a pile of discount plush nobodies is a neatly retailed folded shirt. I'm gonna wear it. Obviously you're going to put the shirt on. You don't want to be the only one not wearing a cool shirt. Do you need some privacy? I'm not sure where one layer of you ends and the other begins. Doubt the audience cares. What? Oh, you guys being on camera like this is kind of fucking whack, you say. So pointedly, your sprite even shows up on screen for a second. Yeah, that's right. We went all out for this one. You were wondering if there was a place here that wasn't under constant surveillance. Like, how does this kid take a crap in peace? You know everyone's thinking it. Don't plan on questioning that. I'm sure the public at large is eager to know the answer to, but my room isn't wired up, no. About to get you fired up, though. Menageries are multiplying with... Maybe not this second. Alright, damn. You accompany Dave down the hallway to his room. You hear the shower on as you pass the bathroom, and you peek in to see your hoodie and nice gown on the tile being uselessly wetted by a low-pressure stream. You're welcome, by the way. Yeah, thanks. Dave motions you to go in first, giving you the privacy you need to change into an extremely starched polo shirt and nothing else. This collar will not go down. This is absolutely what someone in 2009 would think is fresh as hell. You look around the room for a bit. There are so many things in here. This would be a 13-year-old's wet dream, but to you it just seemed a little much. It feels like this is a bunch of things someone thinks that they should like. Let the fan art reflect that you've put on the shirt at this point. There isn't a mirror in here, but you can tell that this is someone out there's idea of a look. The door opens and Dave is standing there. but now walking in, he's leaned up against the door frame sipping a juice. Where'd he get a juice? What the hell? Hallway juice, my guy. Hallway juice. What, you don't keep foodstuff stashed around your house? What do you do when you get hungry? No, that's not it. You mean you usually just keep it in the fridge or whatever. Too obvious. Somebody help this useless clown. You assure Dave that you've met many clowns in your day and only some of them were useless. Name one. You can't. Why did you say that? Clowns are awful. Everybody knows this. I guess he's got you there, you know. Despite the overwhelmingly plush decor in the rest of the house, there's a distinct lack of puppets in here. That's more of my bros thing. Not that they aren't deliriously sick, just a whole hospital ward full of the illest children you've ever seen. Each one more up the pup than the last. Up to pup? Yeah, pup. Like puppets. You're gonna be honest, it doesn't really seem like his heart's in it. How do you mean? Well, it's just that he doesn't really seem to be all into the puppets. I mean, feels a little performative. Well, I guess I got my own stuff I'm into. Like if I were to rank it 1 to 10, I'd say puppets are probably a solid 7. You got this kid on the ropes, just one more push. In fact, you'd even go so far as to say the puppet thing sorta sucks? Yeah, it is extremely weird. The cameras, the hiding things like an animal, it all seems a little, you know, whack. For a while he just seems to look at you, almost as if he's sizing you up. There's a long stretch where Dave doesn't break eye contact with you as he finishes his cute little juice and crumbles it up. He takes an ambitious shot at the trash can and misses by about 7.5 feet. Damn, I could have swore I had game. You're throwing me off, mailman. Yes, that is correct. You are a faithful employee of the Postal Service. I mean, I definitely believe you, but let's say I didn't. Let's say I had cool friends who, even though they're too cool to care about details like this, they were a little skeptical of this whole situation. Maybe they'd want some proof you were who you said you were before they let you get any closer to their friends. Just throwing that hypothetical out there. What proof could he possibly need? Say the oath. What? The oath. The mail oath. Oh, look, the thing about that is, I mean, unless you really aren't a mailman. Behind his sunglasses, Dave's eyes shift ever so slightly to what you might describe in a less immediately harrowing situation as a moderately prized-looking mall katana mounted on his wall. You realize that maybe now isn't the best time to come clean about your impeccable ruse. You can't believe you have managed to put yourself in mortal peril yet again. You wordlessly chuckle and shake your head. Oh, the situations you get yourself into. Dave, not privy to your private thoughts for once, looks on. Why, of course you can recite the mailman oath. You say with a confidence that is misplaced as it is unfounded. You perk up. Now is your time to shine. Maybe it's the popped collar, but you are feeling good about this one. You got this. You have lied to tons of kids. One more and it will be smooth sailing from here on out. You open your mouth and there is a brief moment where everything feels like it is going to be okay. You immediately start sobbing and crumple into a disgusting mess on the floor. Oh. Oh, fuck. Wow, okay. Jesus Christ. No. A mailman. You don't even have a real mailman outfit. You're afraid you don't even know how much stamps cost. Jesus, that's hard to read. Oh my God. Jesus, just, okay. It's gonna be alright there, Dave squats down next to your deflated body and pats you a little awkwardly on what he assumes is your shoulder. Ha, you say you're sorry you tricked him. You just wanted to impress him because John said he was so cool. It's fine, I guess. Fuck, dude. Get a hold of yourself. He tries to get up, but you are desperately clinging to his shirt, confessing everything. confessing to made-up crimes you didn't even commit. Look, my guy, we all make mistakes. Please stop whatever this is. I'm pretty sure you were harmless. I don't think you actually killed anyone with your ass or were ever an accessory to burning down an alien mall or whatever insane shit you just said. Yeah, you kinda got caught up in the moment and just started saying made-up stuff. You asked Dave if he's mad at you. Nah, dude. Get up. Dave helps you back up onto your feet. You come clean in an only slightly more controlled and dignified way this time. You explain how there are these huge gaps in your memory and that you somehow ended up with these abilities that let you traverse space, time, and sometimes even reality itself. Dave doesn't say much for a change, and it doesn't seem like he's listening at first, but you think maybe he just has one of those faces. Let me get this straight. One day you just appeared in a suburb, no memories except that you have some mysterious teleportation power, you dig through some unsuspecting chump's mail looking for clues, and through some ridiculous universal happenstance, you just so happen to stumble upon the most gullible fucking dork in the universe. Befriend him. Also, I'm there via text. Egbert gives you a list of friends to visit. Out of all those choices available to you, myself included, and you go see Rose first. Rose fucking Lalonde. Even though we built up such a good rapport when I told John you weren't a real mailman. Called it, by the way. Your first instinct is to visit the most heavy-handed of all of us for some light kinship. A power move, I guess. Mailman out here wave dashing for friendship. Can't even spare a neutral A for old Strider, huh? Won't even back into the corner and spam your ranged attack for the D-man. A tragedy in 2 acts. Both acts are titled betrayal. You definitely understand what is being said and absolutely don't have to ask your friends what some cool video game words are. You are 100% not pulling the boldest "how do you do, fellow kids" the world has ever seen. Besides, is that really the thing to be focusing on right now? You fucking wound me, mailman, of course it is. Nothing is more important to me than this. They say that most humans only use 10% of their brains. That's because I'm using 90% of it to think, how dare you. So anyway, you can really go anywhere. See anybody you want. Sounds nice. For all but a moment, the act drops and you see the corner of his mouth tighten a little. The fading afternoon light filters through his sunglasses at just enough of an angle to see his eyes shift ever so slightly towards the window. These subtle movements would surely be lost on most. If you weren't so focused on trying to read him, or even just slightly further away, you may have missed it yourself. There was almost a loneliness in his voice. It must be hard to live here by yourself, so far away from the people who care about you. It's possible that you have been so focused on trying to blindly make friends that you've forgotten that in front of you is a real living person. You can't help but wonder if there is something you can do. You said you can take people with you, right? Like, if you could teleport John around, would that work with anybody? This is it. The path to this kid hard as clear as day. Fuck what you said just now. That friendship juice is so close you can practically taste it. You try not to look excited, affecting Dave's cool persona as you say, fuck yeah, you can take people with you. You scope at your fingernails, because for some reason that is what you do when you're acting cool. This works to the full extent it can, coming from someone who not but 7 minutes and 32 seconds earlier was rolling around on the floor damp with their own tears. Did he have someplace in mind? Yeah. I mean, I got some ideas I could bounce off you, I guess. How do you feel about... Shh. With a swift finger to his mouth, you cut him off. He doesn't seem to like that very much, but you still consider it a successful maneuver. There's no need for words between friends. You know just where he wants to go. Just think really hard about it. Think about where you want to be, Dave. Think about what is important to you. Think about what you really want. It will be more magical this way. Friendship is magic after all. You just made that up right now. Don't look it up. Damn, guess that's true. He closes his eyes and you put a hand on his shoulder. This is it. Putting your trust in the magic of friendship, you focused his power externally as much as you were able. Flashes of distant but somehow familiar imagery coursed through you. The quiet stillness of the suburbs, the smell of the forest, the heat of an apartment rooftop, the ocean breeze. You extended outward as much as you were able. This is his rodeo. You were merely the vehicle. What the hell? Oh, hell yeah! The two of you stand near a sign that says, "Please wait to be seated." A very cheery hostess has a brief exchange with Dave and ushers the two of you to an open table. Oh, hell fucking yeah! There is no mistaking it. About to get my mother effing breadstick on! This is absolutely an Olive Garden. Fuck yeah, it is. When you're here, you're family, dog. And while you're still new to this, you can't really seem to detect any irony in his voice. You thought for sure he'd want to go see his friends. You thought you had him figured out. First and last mistake, mailman, but you'll learn. I'm a mystery. Got that history. Fuck with the plot, my flow's so hot they leave you looking blistery. Racially ambiguous, oh my rhymes are contiguous. And the yog with the homie where the breadsticks are continuous. You know what the fuck it is, you just let him go for a while. You don't even know if that last one rhymed, but fuck it if you're gonna be charmed with this little bastard. You lean back in your chair and just absorb it all. Sitting in the worst restaurant imaginable with your new rapping teen friend while the other patrons do their best to ignore his incredible rhymes. After a short while, Dave abruptly stops freestyling and you open your eyes. Oh, fuck, you know what time it is. No, your sprite doesn't even have a watch drawn on it. It's breadstick 30, no watch necessary. Fuck me, I love breadsticks. I never talk about it. This is a very real and hidden character trait that nobody knows about me. Well, that sounds like a very real and hidden character trait that nobody knew about him. And we are certainly not finding this out now because of a series of seemingly unrelated events that possibly change the continuity of this universe, allowing these sorts of otherwise narratively unimportant traits to shine through. Wow, he is really going to be going to town on those breadsticks. Maybe this is all friendship needs to be. Spending some quality FaceTime with a solid bro and just absolutely decimating some bottomless breadsticks at a bad chain Italian restaurant. Maybe the real lesson here is friendship doesn't have to be a grand gesture or high adventure. Maybe the real friends. I understand you were having a moment, but I am absolutely going to eat your breadsticks if you don't stop talking about what friendship means to you. Haha, yeah man, whatever you want. Get that bread, son. Both of us just crying with breadsticks in our mouth. You know what, I actually really like that any of this friend thing. I'm really digging this little Hive Swap universe thing. And thank you to that guy that commented in the last video and telling me about that, because I actually looked up the old friend sim and I'm going to play through that eventually as well. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. This was PesterQuest volume number 3. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe. I'd appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one.